Hi! Welcome to my Flipside site, and actually welcome to my kitchen. This is a place where it all kind of started for me, where I started to make videos using the teaching method of the flipped classroom. I learned about the flipped classroom at the beginning of this school year and have started practicing in it with one class. But I'm going to tell you a little bit about the flipped classroom teaching method first, just in case you don't know anything about it. The idea for the flipped classroom came out of Colorado in 2007, where a group of teachers decided to flip their lecture out of the classroom time and assign that for students for homework. This changed their classroom technique from being teacher-directed to being more student-directed based on collaborative activities. So when I was first learning about the flipped classroom, there were two big ideas when I was learning about it that really attracted me to this idea. Number one, I often get the question as soon as kids walk into the class, what are we doing today? What are we doing today? And that's fine. Kids are very curious and they want to be a part of knowing what's going on in the classroom. It might help to take away some of their anxiety of not knowing. And it also puts them in more of the director role. They're in charge as soon as they walk in the door after we've had a flipped classroom session. They know what's going to happen in the classroom. And it really made things go a lot smoother, made transitioning easier, and I think helped some of those students that might take a little bit longer to process things, to be prepared and to have some really good thoughts and ideas coming into class. It's kind of like planting an idea with them the night before and allowing it to grow overnight. Number two, in my classroom, I have 6 students at a lab station that we don't have a lot of extra room in that area. So it's not like we have desks where they can face me all together. They're sitting at a lab station with 6 other kids, whether I'm lecturing or we're doing a lab. And so there's a lot of distractions, especially with middle schoolers. There's 5 other people trying to distract one kid during a lecture, guaranteed. Or maybe there's something else going on during the class that's causing them not to pay attention to what I'm having to say when I'm trying to introduce or explain a concept. So with the idea of video, it's just me and them. Like it's me and you right now. Imagine if this was 3D. Okay? It'd be even cooler. But it really put everything in perspective of I have a pretty captive audience right now. And this is on their own time when they're ready to listen. And they have time and they know that they need to be listening at this moment. So I really like that idea as a teacher as well. I wasn't fully sold, and so I didn't want to jump in wholeheartedly and try this with all of my classes. So I decided to do a pilot class of trying this out with one of my 4 sections of science that I teach. How did I go about choosing that class? I decided that with the first unit of chemistry that I teach, I gave them a quiz, the very first quiz of the year, and I decided that I would look at the quiz results, and after I looked at those quiz results, I would decide on which class that I would use for my pilot test. And it was pretty obvious to me after seeing the results. There was one class period that scored 10% less as a class average than all of the other classes. And so that told me that I was going to have to really be an excellent teacher for them and try a lot of new and different things to engage them in the ideas of science. So that was my pilot class. Done. Chosen. And from there, I chose and made weekly videos for them to watch on using some simple tools of the iPad and the wiki spaces. Technology really made it pretty easy. And as we started going, it was really easy to expand and add more to all of the videos that I make. I ended up adding notes onto those pages and review games for the kids to help them learn as well. I had to get kind of creative with some of my videos as I went along, and the more creative I was, the kids liked it even better because middle schoolers like to be entertained. Sometimes my cats would pop up into videos. My husband was a part of one of the videos. And it's just kind of a different way for me to talk with them and communicate with them, which kind of made it fun. I did survey the kids to find out what they thought about it, and here's what they had to say.
I like the Flipside site because it helps me learn in a visual way because I can see stuff that I might not get when we talk about it in class.
Maybe we should have more videos. I really do like to watch them because I learned a lot from them. They were very informal.
I like it because it helps us know what's going to happen in class the next day.
So overall, I was really happy with a lot of the results from the students. I was really surprised to see such a high majority of the kids found that the videos were really helpful and that they enjoyed using this teaching technique. I found, there's my cat right there, sometimes they interrupt. I found that through this I was able to gain so much more class time that we were able to have a lot more time to review and make sure that the students really understood the concepts, which I think is really the main thing here. Through a session that I went to at iTech, I was actually able to learn a lot from another teacher that's in Iowa that's doing this teaching technique as well, and I'm now following him on Twitter and following his blog to get different tips as I go about this, because I did decide after seeing the chemistry final, seeing how much these kids were able to grow, that I am going to continue on with this teaching technique. The kids in this class went from being 10% behind the other classes to scoring within 1 percentage point. It was like their class average was 0.98 difference from the other class periods. And so I was really happy to see that they had grown a lot in just a couple of months. I'm also going to try out a lot of different things with the kids as I roll it out into four class periods. One thing that I started to do was use this. This is a QR reader. You might see these things pop up in advertisements. Well, you can actually make your own, and the students really like it because they can scan this picture that I print off, which links to my video, on their iPod Touch or their smartphone, so they can view it whenever they want. So thanks for the time tonight at your board meeting, for listening to what's going on in my classroom. If you have any questions, I think we're going to have the opportunity to Skype in with me at home and ask those, and I'll try to answer them the best that I can. Otherwise, if you have any questions, feel free to email me about it, or you can follow along on this site and see how we start to roll things out with all 4 sections in January. I'm really excited about the opportunity. So we'll see you guys in a little bit. Thanks.